Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my name is Lars Gudbrandson. I am representing Denmark because I'm born and raised in Denmark. However, I'm half Danish, half Norwegian. My last name is from Iceland. I have worked for Swedish companies and Finnish companies. So judging by the data, I am a true Viking. But there's always an anomaly in the data. I don't like seafood. And if the temperature goes below 20 degrees, I don't like that either. So I wouldn't survive many days on a Viking ship, obviously. Okay, so my name is Lars. I am the CEO of a company called IIH Nordic. And what we basically do is that we enable the data-driven business models for companies. So we basically help companies with doing the data strategy, the implementation, the data activation, so basically the whole value chain. And my background is basically, I both have an engineering background and a commercial background, both by experience and by education. So I like to talk ones and zeros and euros and dollars. And basically try to connect that, because I believe that where you see the true value in data and how you can apply data, how you can apply analytics, how you can apply AI, is when you get an economic return on your data investment. So that's what I'm trying. I always try to preach that you need to connect the data and the dollars and euros. So in this room here today, basically everybody here is some sort of a pioneer, because we are still in a very early stage, even though that, as someone mentioned, that Google has been working on machine learning since 2001. We are still in a very early stage, because for many companies, data do not exist, or the data thinking do not exist on a strategic level. Last year, Pricewaterhouse, they made a study where they basically looked at companies globally, and they found that only 21% of all companies have a chief data officer. So data is basically happening on the operational level in most cases, in most companies. Out of those 21% companies who actually have a chief data officer, only 42% of those were actually in the C-suite. So there's still room for improvement for the companies to take data to a strategic level to gain the full value out of their data and the data that they can basically collect. They also made the study, Pricewaterhouse, that 2/3 of all the companies are talking more about data now than they did 5 years ago. So we are somehow, as a community, showing that there is some value in data also to the C-level. So what happens in most cases, what we see is that when you are not having data on your strategic level, but only in most cases on the operational level, you basically experience two things. One thing is that the data quality is not always as good. And secondly, data is, in most cases, in isolated islands. So you have data silos, so you're not connecting the data and getting the full value out of it. And those companies who actually are able to do that and manage to do it are also the companies that tend to democratize data, which is the key enabler for any digital transformation for any company. So we as a community has a big role in basically making sure that data goes not only on the operational level and on the tactical level, but all the way up to the C-level, and how we can democratize data inside the organizations to unlock the true value of data. Because we can basically look at it in such a way that if you are flying an airplane, when you are on the ground, on the runway, in daylight, you can see out the window, you can see everything in front of you. But once you're up in the skies, it becomes dark. You need to rely 100% of your data. Otherwise, you can't steer that plane. And that's the same with companies. We need to make sure that as a community, we preach this data collection, data aggregation, and activate it so we can gain the full commercial value of the data. Thank you.
Thank you so much.